you're not still waiting for the rapture, right? So if you're a Christian and you're still waiting for Jesus to return, I need you to go read a few verses from the gospel, because if you're a Christian, you need to be reading the Bible, right? That's what your religion's based off of. So you need to know that the Bible, Jesus's words, indicate very clearly that Jesus already came back. Like he said he would. He already came back. He told the people that he was talking to directly, red letters, some of you standing here will not taste death before I return with my kingdom. Okay, he's not talking about the transfiguration. He can't be, because that doesn't make sense. Like 3 days later, you wouldn't be talking about, it's like 3 days later, maybe like a short time later, right? Because he didn't live all that long. So when he said that to these people, he can't be talking about the transfiguration, because you don't talk about some of you guys won't die within a few days. You wouldn't say that. That would just be dumb, right? So we know it's not the transfiguration. That's just dumb. Okay. I used to think it was, or I just never really understood much of the Bible because I didn't take the words that literally. I just kind of like tried to get some meaning out of it through the confusion. But now, after everything I've learned, I have learned that you can take the Bible literally, unless it's like a dream or like a parable. It's safest to just take the words as they're written. Now, Revelation, I tend to take it pretty literally. Could there be some symbolism in there? Yes, there could, right? So we're talking about some things that could be representing like nations or, churches, things like that. However, it's still talking about literal events happening, and it's talking about literal years, because otherwise, why say 1,000 years? Why say the new earth is going to have this many foundations and these doors and all of these descriptive terms? Why would you waste all of that space to describe something that isn't physical? So I'm referring to the people who think that we're in the new earth, because at least they believe Jesus. At least they believe that he didn't lie. Most Christians, I don't know that they think he lied, but they just must not be reading those words, because it just goes over your head, because you're already stuck in like the dispensationalist ideas of, we're waiting on Jesus to return still, and it's been a long ass time and he still hasn't returned. What, like 2,000 years? Like no one's even counting anymore, because it's been so damn long. It's like, how bad does it have to get? We're just waiting. It's almost like there are groups of people that just wanted to just keep getting worse and worse because it's bringing about Armageddon or something. I know there is one group that actually does use that strategy to try to bring on the end. And they, I don't want to say something that'll affect my video or my channel, so you can look into it. It's, what do I want to say? Like, is it like the Zionists? I think it's them. I've heard that they actually do things. If you read like the Talmud and stuff, and their other works and their just general attitude, it's like they still don't have a savior, so they're still kind of pushing for the end or whatever, and they think they're above like everyone else. So besides that, I wanted to mention that it seems like I see a pattern with people in the truth community, And it's just interesting to me. So I just wanted to get like some feedback from other people. Like, what was your story about how you got to where you're at with the truth? Mine is that first, we're just going to call them cupcakes because we can't say that word. So we're just going to say cupcakes. That's the new word. I'm sure they'll catch on eventually. But anyways, for now, cupcakes, that was my first thing. I was like, oh, we can't trust the medical because they're giving us stuff that permanently damages us, that you can't really take back. The body can heal, but like when you do it in a developmental stage, you're really jacking with God's natural creation, which heals itself. You don't need any preventative type anything. And viruses, like, they've never isolated one, and they look exactly like exosomes, which are just the body encapsulating toxins and releasing them. So it's all a bunch of theory, and there's plenty of methods that are natural out there that can help you if you're having health struggles. And one of the biggest ways to do that is just eating clean, like the GAPS diet. If you want to get the yellow or the blue book, you can heal any condition, whether it's mental, physical, cancer, like anything. Everything has its root cause, like in the gut. Now, there is trauma, so I'm not going to say there are not compounding factors, but many researchers are calling the gut the second brain, and some are even calling it the first brain because it actually makes the neurotransmitters for the brain. So the brain can't do its job unless the gut is doing its job. So chicken and the egg. So after cupcakes, it seems like people start looking into stuff. It's like, why are they doing this to us? Let me look into like what the secrets are. Like, who are like the secret societies, like looking into the secret societies and what are their secrets and what is going on with all this, and you know, just delving into what that's all about. And then you might even kind of like take a detour into like mind control, because they definitely play a part in all that, and the military is involved, and so are many churches. I've seen ties with the Pentecostal church, the Mormon church, the Jehovah's Witnesses, like other things that are not churches, like daycares, schools. Like it goes deep. Okay, the mind control, the MK Ultra program, it goes really deep. So it all ties together, and you'll see, because as I go through the progression, you'll see how it all ties together neatly with a bow when you get to the end of the rabbit hole. So this is for Christians that don't know that we're not waiting on the rapture. Okay, Jesus didn't lie. He already returned. Okay, so after you research secret societies, then you keep looking into things like, what else could they be lying about? Generally, next up is the shape of the earth. You discover they lied to us about that. And then that opens your mind to the fact that the Bible can be taken literally. Wow. I want to read it all over again now that I know I can trust what it's saying, and it's not just an old, outdated, like, just, I can't think of the word, but like, it's just not relevant because they didn't know that what we know now. Well, clearly, if it's God's inspired word, then God knew what he was writing, right? And anyways, they were more advanced in the past than we ever have shown to be in the present. Just because we have phones doesn't make us advanced. I mean, look at our building. Look, the buildings are just crap that aren't old. Okay, moving on. After flat earth, you will discover mud flood. And mud flood opens your mind, like, again, and makes you go, what happened? Why would they make these buildings and then bury the windows halfway where it's going to flood the first floor or the basement, whatever you want to call it? They wouldn't put windows at ground level and then build an awesome structure like this and just open the door for mold and ruining the foundation and just all of that. Like, it just doesn't make sense to do that. Most of the buildings, they have changed the windows to have window wells, but it still collects water and it still collects leaves, and it just doesn't make sense. If you open your eyes and start looking at the buildings, you will see that sometimes they've gotten sloppy or they just haven't gotten to it yet, and they'll sometimes just cover it up. They won't even try to make a window well. You'll see the dirt actually halfway up the window, and the other half of the window is under the ground. So something happened, okay? We don't know how deep this layer is, and we don't know what it's from, but we know it ain't right. So from there, usually you keep digging, and then you run across little season. People saying that Jesus already returned and that we're in the little season of deception mentioned in Revelation 20. And then you're just like, what? Oh, that's why this experience in this realm is so awful. It's being run by the enemy. Now, where is Jesus? Because it doesn't say he left. So he could still be in this realm. But how is Satan going to deceive anyone if Jesus is still around? Like, they're not going to be in the same exact realm. That just, they might be in the same realm, but they're not going to be like operating together, probably. I couldn't see it, because it just makes more sense to me that he would take his camp. It's not a permanent structure. It can be moved. It's temporary. So his camp of the saints, he could just move it somewhere safe for a little while till this little season comes to an end. And then at the end of that little season, Satan goes up against the camp of the saints, or he gets the people to, and then they get destroyed by fire from God. So what do you think? Is all of this culminating? All the MK Ultra, all of the lies? What's the purpose? Well, they're trying to get us, meaning the people, to join in and go up against the camp of the saints. So this is why there's an alien lie. This is why there's the globe lie. This is why there's so much trauma, because they've been programming people, like probably with an actual literal program with a code word to get them to activate and join. And will it always work for everyone? Probably not, because God can break programming. But I do believe that that is the ultimate goal of the MK Ultra program. I haven't been able to, find specific code words or anything like that, but it's all very top secret and word of mouth. Like, I don't know that they write all that stuff down, and if they do, it's not out in the open, searchable on the internet. So yeah, when you get to the little season, it kind of explains everything. And that's where I'm at. What was your journey with learning what you know about what you know?